Well, good morning and welcome back to my channel. So we're continuing with the mech, and I have done a little bit more work on the arms. I want to make these more of a kind of piston effect, which I've put up there. But the main work that I'm going to be doing this weekend is to look more at the back and see where we can go with that and develop that more. Towards that end, I have I've got this little bit here which I've found, which I'm going to put somewhere. But I've also been looking at this particular piece. This is another bit of Nerf gun, and I think this quite looks like very nice, like a kind of heat vent. So this heat vent is going to be put somewhere, whether at the bottom or at the top, I'm not sure, but we'll have a look at that. I've got this bit here which I want to put on, plus various other little bits of greeblies like this and this. So yeah, I've got together some bits and pieces, and we're going to start applying them, putting them on. I'm going to have a look, see where things are going to go, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, let's begin the process. So onward and upward. Here we have the back of the mech now being fabricated. Obviously this is part way through it, but I've got the general shape that I wanted. I'll just turn it around a bit. So I've connected the various bits of greeblies that I wanted to put onto it. It's beginning to take that bulky shape, but the area that I'm a little bit concerned about is this big blank area here, which I think I'm going to have to do something with. Just basically put something in there to fill it out a little bit. But yeah, I think it's coming on. Obviously, when it's not primed, it doesn't look so good. But I think the general shape is there. Yeah, I'm kind of 75% happy with that. Turn it around a bit more on that side as well. Yeah, it's coming on. It's coming on. I'm going to continue. You've got to persevere with it. The back, this bit here looks more like an engine shape. So yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. I think the other side will come together with some if I put some aerial shapes on it and stuff like that. But yeah, okay, it's getting there, and we'll continue working with it. But that's the general mech shape at the moment. So moving on, I've covered up the Batman sign at the front by just adding a little bit more to the cockpit there. But mainly I have continued working on the back. I have added some bit more detail and added a heat sink kind of fabrication or structure to the top of the engine structure at the back. And I'm envisaging that this kind of get-up signifies that the mech is kind of atomically powered, and would be capable of indefinite operation because it's independently powered from a kind of mini atomic engine at the back. So yeah, that's the kind of idea I've come up with, and I think it's beginning to work. I think it's beginning to work quite nicely. There's the back of it. Again, lots of more wiring to do, but the general shape is there. I don't want to over egg the pudding, as they say. I think I've reached the limit of the structure. It's beginning to resemble to me one of those fighting suits that Japanese, I can't remember the name of it, Japanese thing. I think they call it Machine Gruger or something like that. It's that Japanese hobby series of kits that came out and is still going strong in actual fact even now. So yeah, I think the general shape is reminiscent of that hobby series. But okay, so that's where we've got at the moment. That's where we're up to at the moment. And I say the thing will start to pop when the primer is added, just to see where we are. But before I put the primer on, I want to continue working on the fabrication of it. But that's all for now on this particular day, and I will continue it over the weekend. Right, well, it's Sunday, and ah, no, we haven't gone back in time. You are looking at that correctly. I have actually deconstructed the whole thing. Yes, I've taken off the cockpit, and I've taken off the back bit as well. And the reason I did all that was because, once again, I just couldn't accept the shape. It wasn't working. It just wasn't working. And as I've said before, when something isn't working, no matter what you do to try and make it right, if it just doesn't look right, it's never going to look right. Ever going to look right. So you have to think alternatives. And what began my conversion was finding this in my stash. It was an old helicopter, obviously, but if I put it up like that and put it like that, then the shape of the mech really begins to look a lot more menacing, a lot more militaristic, and a lot better than it did before. The Bell helicopter shape was all right, but this looks far more like a classical mech shape. And I know that the only drawback is the fact that it's got a tinted windscreen, but you can still see inside it. And I've checked it with my models, with my little man, and the seating, and you can still see through it. And once I put the copy decks on the windows, and then I can spray paint it with my rust-colored primer, all of the, as you can see, the structure of the cockpit will come out, leaving just the tinted windscreens clear, and the thing will start to pop really well. So that really goes nicely at the front. And yes, so I have completely junked the cockpit as it was, and I'm going to put that at the front, and it looks much, much better. And as regards the back, just a minute, I'll show you. The back was coming out far too much into the in this way, and it just looked out of proportion, completely out of proportion. So I'm still going to use this piece here, but I've cut a big swathe out of it, and I'm putting it like that on the back. So now I don't have any gaps. And once it's connected and sanded in and smoothed in, so the thing looks like it's merging into it, it will make a much better shape at the back, and it doesn't protrude so much as it did before, which is what was worrying me. It was protruding so much. I want the thing to look far more compact, far more far more narrow in its profile than it was before. So yes, I have completely junked the shape that it was, and I'm going to start. I'm practically going to start again. I mean, the good things about it were the legs and the arms. Those worked, and so obviously I'm keeping those. But yes, the cockpit and the back needed to be redesigned. And I said at the beginning of this, together with my skyship, was going to be a long build, and it is proving to be a long build. But I needed to show you that, once again, if you're not happy with something, don't keep working on it, because it's never going to get better. You've got to restart. You've got to be bold and brave, junk it, and start again. And similarly, I'm working on the skyship at the same time, and I've junked the fins that were down here, and I'm going to put much bigger fins onto it, which will give the skyship a much bigger and better sense of scale. So again, I'm continuously working on these bits and pieces to make sure that the finished result is what I want. Because once you start adding parts, you've got to be aware that rather like unraveling a piece of tapestry, the whole thing can start to fall apart if you do it wrongly. So there's the skyship, there's the mech, and the next video will be showing you how I put more stuff onto the mech and restart that mech again. But I think this has been a useful video because even though you don't see any finished results as such, you get an idea into my working process. So the next video will be coming up shortly, but that's all it for now. Thanks for watching.